Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Jay and welcome to The Ship Life. So for today's cruise news, we have a man overboard situation that took place over the past weekend on board the NCL Breakaway that appears to be coming to an unfortunate conclusion. We also have an update on the NCL Escape situation. On Monday, March 14th, we learned the ship had run aground or got stuck. However, even after freeing itself, unfortunately the ship may have suffered some damage, causing the current cruise as well as future sailings to be cancelled, among other bad things that are taking place with the NCL Escape. We also have an update on Virgin Voyages, as they have canceled multiple sailings on the Scarlet Lady for what appears to be a TV show, and guests are not happy. We will of course go over all the details of each story in today's video, so let's go ahead and get started. So as most of you know, recently I've been doing quite a bit of traveling lately. I was on the inaugural sailing for Royal Caribbean's brand new ship Wonder of the Seas, the largest cruise ship on planet Earth. So as far as cruise news, the Wi-Fi was absolutely horrible. I couldn't do the research that I wanted to do, as well as upload videos in a timely manner, so I just kind of nicked the whole idea of cruise news. However, there were a ton of people throughout the cruise that were reaching out to me asking me if I could talk about the NCL Breakaway situation. Now, I couldn't do the research I wanted, so I wasn't going to do anything until I did a little bit of digging. Now, I did come to find out that back on March 11th, there was a man that was sailing on board the NCL Breakaway, who was 31 years of age, that jumped off the NCL Breakaway while it sailed off the coast of Costa Maya, Mexico. Now, immediately after he jumped off, apparently somebody saw it, and the authorities were alerted. They had the Coast Guard do a search and rescue. They searched for 2 days, but unfortunately, there was no luck whatsoever. They were not able to find the man, and at this point in time, unfortunately, it does appear that things have been called off. Now, NCL has reached out. They have confirmed this has happened. They made a statement saying that their thoughts and prayers are with the family and loved ones of the man that jumped off, and of course, the Coast Guard confirmed this as well, as they have now called off the search. It has been a couple days. Now, I just want to say, when it comes to situations like this, because I'm not saying they happen often, but they're not exactly super rare when it comes to an overboard situation, guys, but there are typically 3 scenarios in which somebody can go overboard. Either it's somebody accidentally falling over, where somebody's doing something silly like playing on their phone or trying to just jump on the rails, walk on the rails, something like that, because all this has happened. There are situations where people, yes, unfortunately, and do intentionally jump off the ship. I witnessed it even when I was on my ship, the NCL Escape, which we'll talk about them in a minute, because they have a little pickle that they're going through as well. And then there's other situations where is the potential for foul play. Now, it is looking like this man intentionally jumped off, and unfortunately, they were not able to find him, because I've mentioned this before, whenever somebody goes overboard, no matter how quickly the search and rescue team can get out there, no matter how quickly they're alerted, if it's rough waters or the nighttime especially, but even during the day, it is kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. The ship is absolutely massive, and if the ship is moving, by the time they stop and look for somebody, it is still a very difficult task to unfortunately achieve. Anyway, guys, if there are any additional updates, I will let all of you know. My condolences do go out to the friends, family, and loved ones of the 31-year-old man that unfortunately jumped off the ship and has not been found. Now, moving on, we do have an update pertaining to the craziness currently taking place on board the NCL Escape. Now, I will be giving all of you a brief recap, because things have escalated just a little bit, and unfortunately, it's not in favor of the passengers currently on board. Now, before I give the recap, I do want to remind all of you, most of you know, but we do have a lot of new subscribers. I am a former crew member. I was a dancer and entertainer on board the NCL Escape back from 2018 to 2019. I was in a Broadway show known as After Midnight. So naturally, yes, I do have eyes and ears on the ground over there, but I'll be completely honest and transparent with all of you. I have not been getting any information that you as the general public do not know, you're not aware of. Captain Giovanni is currently under a lot of pressure right now, because there's a lot of controversy, which I'll talk about later on in the video, taking place on board that ship. But anyway, guys, just to give you a recap as far as what's going on, basically on Monday, March 14th, we had this ship, the NCL Escape, that struck ground. They basically ran into sand, and they were kind of stuck there for a little while. There was low tide. They were trying to figure out how they were going to get out of the situation. So they waited until the following morning around 12:45 a.m. on Tuesday. High tide started to come back, and the ship was able to break free. Now, the initial reports surfacing were saying the ship was going to continue on its merry way to the cruise and go to its next port of call. However, they decided they wanted to go to Taino Bay or Tanio Bay. Basically, this is the pier they were tugged over to over in the Dominican Republic to check for damage. They believe there may be some damage. Some people are saying it's the front of the ship. However, it cannot be confirmed as of yet. So now they have the situation where the ship has now canceled the current sailing, and they are also canceling future sailings as well. So the sailings that have been affected during this trouble is, of course, the current sailing that started on March 12th, and the following sailing that was supposed to take place on March 19th on board the NCL Escape, which was a 7-day sailing out of Port Canaveral, going to places like Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Cozumel, my favorite port, and Great Stirrup Cay. All of that has been affected, and a lot of people are, well, let's be honest, very angry about it. Some of the passengers that are currently sailing on board the NCL Escape right now are saying that they found out about this cancellation very last minute because it does affect them directly, because now basically what's happening is you have people that have to be taken off the ship. Over 4,000 passengers that have to leave the ship. In a letter, NCL told all the passengers last night that essentially what's happening is between now, Wednesday, and Friday, the 18th, they are going to be flying all the passengers home. But here's the thing. You have the passengers that booked directly through NCL, and you have the ones that, well, didn't. So basically what's happening is the ones that did book through NCL are going to get a direct flight scheduled from out of Dominican Republic to where they need to go. And everybody else will be essentially taking a charter flight over to Orlando. And from there, they can make all the reservations changes and deal with everything how they see fit. Unfortunately, some people probably can't cancel, and they'll have to just kind of remain over in Orlando until their actual scheduled flight, or they can pay the actual cancellation fee or change fee. And either way, it's a giant mess. So naturally, a lot of people are kind of upset. However, you can't really blame NCL to a certain extent. They are doing what they can, of course, within the confines of their contractual agreements and everything else. There's a lot of details involved. Now, before we end this topic, I do want to talk about the potential controversy currently taking place on board the NCL Escape. You see, a lot of people all over social media and on board are wondering where they can point the finger at. This is a natural reaction to when something like this happens, be it on a plane, a train, or a cruise ship, because occurrences like this are obviously extremely rare. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys. I told you yesterday, Captain Giovanni was the captain when I was working on board the NCL Escape. Great guy. I used to hang out with him all the time. We had great talks. However, I'll be honest with you, he did cancel a lot. And he said it was because of inclement weather. We'd always cancel ports like Cozumel and Nassau. Now, given, I'm not saying this is any reasoning as to why this particular situation happened, but he did blame it over the weather. So maybe it was a situation where maybe, you know, everybody has their pros and cons, their flaws and their skill sets. Maybe dealing with heavy winds is something that Giovanni is not, you know, comfortable with dealing with. And I'm not saying going after his lack of skill or anything. Obviously, this man has more skill in his finger than I ever will in my life. But it's just one of those things that everybody has those things that they are best at. People have those things that they are not so great at. Now, I'm not saying it's the captain's fault, but this is something that's circulating around, obviously, all over social media, like I said, and people are wondering what exactly happened where this ship could run aground. Either way, guys, I do want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Of course, I also want to point out, guys, I'm not trying to stir up any controversy in any kind of way. I believe these topics are important to talk about. Of course, there's going to be an investigation on board the NCL Escape to figure out exactly what happened. However, as far as the cancellations, I completely understand. We hear this time and time again wherever we're on a cruise ship. Your safety is our #1 priority, and cruise lines stand by that in a pretty strict manner, and I understand. So you guys should too when it comes to the cancellations. It is what it is. These things happen. Now, finally, while we're somewhat on the topic of controversy, we do have to talk about Virgin Voyages, as they appear to have popped their controversial cherry, so to speak. Of course, before we get into it, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, help me get to 100,000 subscribers before the week is up. That way we can do more crazier stuff, because trust me, I got some crazy stuff planned for you. You're not going to believe it. It's going to blow your mind. But anyway, basically we have Virgin Voyages. They have canceled sailings on the 4th of April, the 15th, and 18th. This is because they are allegedly doing some type of TV show. Now, I heard it was The Bachelorette. However, again, I can't confirm any of this because it's all kind of hush-hush right now. Virgin Voyages has only come out and stated that this is going to be a full private charter. If you don't know what a full private charter is, basically, if you guys have ever seen something like a rock and roll cruise, an LGBT cruise, a Bob Marley or reggae cruise, basically you have third-party companies that essentially buy out the entire ship, and they have only their people on board, which I've heard are absolutely amazing. I've not been on a private charter cruise as of yet, but I do plan on getting on one either in the not so distant future or sometime next year around January, February, because that's usually when these things are taking place. But anyway, there is a lot of controversy going on because there are a lot of people that had sailings on the 4th, 15th, and 18th that are now angry because they said it kind of came at the last possible second, and they are saying that, or claiming that Virgin Voyages is putting dollars over actually keeping their clientele, their customers happy. However, I'm going to add on to that because I believe there is a in-between or a both sides to each situation, be it a business standpoint and of course the hanging on to their clientele and their newly found customers, since they are a brand new cruise line. But as of right now, we've kind of seen somewhat of the lane, even though it's kind of confusing, a little murky as far as where Virgin Voyages is going, because, you know, at one point people thought it was like LGBT cruise, some people thought it was like a swingers cruise, others think it's just for young people. I've been on the ship and I agree it is kind of all over the place. However, seeing as who they're partnering with, you know, they got got Ryan Reynolds and his signature gin on board. We got J-Lo or Jennifer Lopez's new partnership with Virgin Voyages. She's supposed to be the entertainment and lifestyle officer, whatever that means. She has her new skincare line, which, by the way, I'll have to check out because I will be back on the Scarlet Lady on July 3rd. I'm hooking up my friends over at Cruise Habit. They are going to be doing a group cruise on July 3rd, which I'm really excited for. And by the way, if you guys want to join that group cruise, I'll leave the link in the description box and I'll pin it in the comment box below. You get a lot of cool perks and you'll see a bunch of other cool things and gifts, stuff that you're really going to enjoy. Now, obviously, the best gift is that, well, I'm going to be on. We're going to have a giant party, trust me. But anyway, guys, just looking at this, it is a very interesting situation because people are weighing on one side or the other. There is the issue of, well, you can't just cancel and make everybody mad that paid for their cruise and maybe only has a limited set of time throughout the year in which they can go on vacation. With Virgin Voyages being new and getting their feet wet and trying to establish where they're going to be as far as in the cruise ship industry, there is, of course, the business side to everything. These charters pay a lot of money to basically rent out the entire cruise ship. And if it is The Bachelor or some major show like that, well, it does make sense because they're probably and potentially going to make 10 times the amount on these private charters than they are with the revenue vessels being regular passengers on board. That's just my take on the personal situation. I believe always we have to look at things objectively, meaning looking at both sides to the particular situation. Now, in the event you're wondering what's going to happen to those poor sailors or would have been sailors that were sailing on the Scarlet Lady, well, Virgin Voyages is covering them. They are getting 50% future cruise credit to passengers that had deposits laid out in the event they want to go ahead and shift to a later date. And if you just want to outright cancel, they're also going to give you 25% future cruise credit, which is, I guess, not a bad deal. Either way, the entire situation sucks for the passengers or sailors that would have been on the Scarlet Lady, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it right here. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I do have my final vlog coming out tonight of me on board the Wonder of the Seas, so make sure you guys tune into that. I think I'm going to put it out tonight at around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Why not? I don't want to put it out a couple hours from now because I want everybody to catch up and watch the news video. Anyway, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, subscribe to the channel, guys. I am so close to 100,000 subscribers. We're almost there, and then we can get to some more funner stuff and level up the channel and the brand a little bit. I'm so excited for what I have coming for all of you. I appreciate every single one of you. I love all of you, and I will see you later. Take it easy.